Hello and welcome. This is another process video, and I decided I'd like to have another go at a Scotland paintings picture. So for those of you that don't know, if you go to scotlandpaintings.com, you can go to their paint your own, and you can download a picture like this together with a color palette, and then lots of different grids in color and black and white, etc., so that you can paint your own version of this, and copyright is removed, so you can paint it and you can sell it if you want to. This one is of the Argyll Coast, and it's Primroses. And yeah, if you want to search for it on their website, it's number, you just put in 305939_4, but I'll put that in the description somewhere, so that you know where to find it if you decide you want to have a bash at this. So first of all, I've picked out my colours that I'm going to use. So I'm using my Van Gogh Muted Colours palette, and I've picked out the turquoise green, the indigo and the neutral tint. I've picked out the gamboge and the yellow ochre, the olive green, and I've mixed the olive green with the gamboge and the indigo, and I'm probably going to need bleed-proof white at the rescue, because there is a few bits of white in here, and I think I'm going to use, I could try and leave the paper white, but I think I'll prefer to use my bleed-proof white. So those are the colours that I'm going to be using. I've used the grid, this grid. Obviously it's not even the same size, so I haven't traced this. I have actually drawn a grid and then placed the main elements where they're going to go. I've done it quite dark so that you could see what I've done, but I think I am going to use my what do they call this, like a putty eraser, because we've got yellow flowers and this is quite dark. So I'm just going to take out some of this graphite from the pencil. Because I don't really want that mixing so much with the yellow. I'm hoping you'll still, yeah, you can still see it, but I've just dulled it down a bit there. Right, where to start with this one? These are always so tricky to do, but I think, and I've pulled out my Van Gogh brushes, size 12, 8 and a 4. My water is here, just off screen, so that I could fit all of this in for you. So I think let's get these mountains in at the back first of all. What brush shall we use? Let's use the size 8. And I need a kind of dulled down indigo. Might need to add a bit of neutral tint to it, so let's get my indigo. I really need to water that down quite a bit. I'll start with the indigo and maybe add some of the neutral tint in. So these are very faint in the background. Oh, my head's in the way. These are very faint in the background, these mountains here. Yeah, I think you can see that just about. And then I'm going to take a bit of the neutral tint here and just allow that to do its thing. I just want to add a little bit of something else going on. In my mountain. I'm going to need a cloth. There we are. There's my cloth. Right, so I'm quite happy with that little mountain. I'm going to do the mountain that is on the other side here. And I'm desperately trying not to cough, but this cough is not going away. It seems to be taking forever to go. The one in front is much darker. So let's get this one in front done. And let's add some of the, well, I think that's what I've done here. I've added the turquoise green with the indigo. And then we've got this a bit brighter colour coming down here. Going into some greys. Might need to brighten that up even further. I need a bit of neutral tint there. Let's just brighten that a bit more. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get exactly the same colours as is going on in this painting here, but we'll do our best. So actually I think I'll leave that to dry. Let's leave that to dry. I need to get a little bit of a, no, because that's going to be touching that. Right, okay. Let us move down, I think, because I can't do any more up there without it all running everywhere. So I'm going to start down, I need a bigger brush. Start down the bottom here and get just some of these background colours in. Water that down a bit because it goes quite pale up to a certain point. I'm going to try and avoid my flowers if I can. Right, we're back to our blue down here. Going across here, but it does go darker. So So I'll add some darker bits in. And then it gets lighter again over here. And then we need some more of the green. Need to add some, start adding some yellow in. And let's go back to our, need it a bit sort of more muted over here. And then I need my yellow, or more of a dirty yellow really, going on over here a bit. I think when I do my flowers, so that bit there needs to go back to being blue, or greeny blue anyway. Kind of going straight across there, that greeny blue bit. Well, mine's not going to be exactly the same, so we'll just have to try and manage, I think. Let's go back over here and go to my yellow ochre. And then we want a bit going across there, I think. As I said, this is not going to be an exact replica. That's just too difficult. Let's go round these a bit better. Right, what have we got over here? We've got blue. Maybe I'll go down a size brush. And we'll go back to our blue. I need to do a there's my yellow ochre. I need some yellow ochre going across the top here. And let's just blend some of that a bit better. There we go. And then we'll go back to my blue, which has got to go in here. Okay. White. What am I going to put in here? Let's because I really do need something in between these. Let's go back to this, and I'm hoping, yeah, I probably was getting my head in the way. Let's hope not too much. And this is like a kind of a background, so I want to give an impression, but I don't feel that I need to have to be too careful. Right, let's get a nice dollop of white going on over here, because we've got these white bits. And I'll get the stems in later. And we've got almost like a white bit there. And we've got, which bit am I under now? Oof. Well, let's pop a white bit in here. And we've got any white over here? Yes, we have. So let's get some of these kind of white dots going on. Okay. And we've also got some yellow dots. So some kind of yellow bits and pieces going on here. And even some yellow bits and pieces around here. Okay, woof. Now, do I just leave the sky white? I've missed this yellow bit. There's the very faint, where are we, yellow bit here. Let's go with that. And I'll pop that little yellow bit in there. And then, so that it's not completely white, I think I'm going to use my titanium up here. Yeah. Right, I am going to dry this while I think about what I'm going to do next. Okay, let's do that. So I will pause. Right, that is dry. Now, next, let's get a palette, because I'm going to mix up my yellow to do the flowers, and I'm going to put the flowers in next, and so that they stand out. Gamboge is not opaque, So I'm going to add bleed proof white to the gamboge in order to make it a lot more opaque. So let's mix this up. I do need it to be a bit darker than that. So let's grab more of the yellow. And I may need to lay this one down, this mixture down first, and then go over it again once it's dry with just the gamboge, so that I get a good enough coverage, basically. Should have started at the top, shouldn't I? So let's get these in. I may have to do quite a bit of tidying up around these. But to be honest, I just didn't want to use masking fluid. Me and masking fluid don't get on. So doing it this way seemed to be a much better option. I will need to add some details to these flowers and some more tones to them. And I may even use some coloured pencils. I'm still thinking as I paint, basically, how best to do these. I'll add a little bit in there. Okay. Seem to be getting my head in the way a lot today. Right, let's pop that to one side for a minute. Perhaps if I bring this down a bit, I won't get my big head in the way so much. Right. Now, I think I might need my little rigger. Where are you? Here you are. Let's get some stems in for these flowers. So let's take our green and our neutral tint because I don't want to use colours that I haven't already used. Okay, so we can then get some stems in. And let's add a bit of the yellow ochre into that. So as we start getting some other greener kind of colours. Need to get some of these leaves in. They look almost like palm leaves, don't they? Got lots of stems going on over here. I'm gonna have to do some other colours, I think. Let's add a bit of buff titanium to it. As we get a different colour going on. More leaves coming out. We may just need to blur some of that, I think. We'll see. I need it to be a bit darker. A bit of neutral tint there. But down here, well, we've got some of these little flowers going on down there, and maybe we need a few more that are right. What have we got underneath this flower? Yep, and I've already done that one like that. Okay, well, I'm kind of getting there. I feel like this isn't the right yellow, so I'm going to take my smaller brush because that won't be, well, it'll be drier, so that I can Yes, go over the top. This was the plan. This was what I was hoping for. So let's now make these a lot darker. Not this little one here. So now I can get some variation in because I've got that opaque colour underneath that's really helping me. And you'll see I'm using my gamboge and it's quite thick. To be fair, it's not completely dry underneath, but it's dry enough for me to be able to make my yellow pop a fair bit more. So these are really starting to stand out nicely now, I think. Well, I've surprised myself. I honestly didn't know if this was going to work or not, but actually working brilliantly. I wonder how some of you would have tackled this. Would you have gone down the let's get my gouache or acrylics out? Yeah, I need some more green bits. Let's go with a brighter green at the up the top here. So we need some of these frond things coming up, don't we? Okay, that doesn't seem to be... That hasn't worked out terribly well. Let's try and get you a bit darker, maybe. That's better. Getting a few more of those in. Now, my mountains aren't, I need to do my middles, but we'll leave that for the minute. I think I need to make some more interest in these mountains. So, let's get something that might look like some little rocks going on. And let's lighten that up even more to get a really light grey. Okay, that's given that a little bit more of something going on. And let's take a bit more of that and lighten up the top there. And then I'm not liking that. I'm going to take my blue and there we go. Now we've got a little bit more interest going on over there. Do we want some little rocky bits down here? Why not? Do I need to make that a bit bluer? Yeah, not that blue. Oof. Okay, so maybe we could put something just here. And get some little rocks and things in. And then that kind of breaks that up a little bit more, I think. Let's try and tidy up over here a bit. And get a bit of interest going on in there. Okay. Looks like I missed a bit there. Right. Oh, let's get our middles in. Let's use our yellow ochre. Actually, I think we're going to have to mix the yellow ochre. Because I don't think that's, yeah. And then what we can do is some of these in the background here. We can make it look like they're flowers. Ooh, right. Do I like that bit or not? I'm not so sure. Let's get a bigger brush. Just a damp brush. And let's just see. Yeah, I just want to blend that a bit more. Okay. Well, I can see this pencil line that's bothering me. So, don't really know what colour I want. I'm just using all the colours that are in my pan. And I'm just going to make that into something. And then I want to blend that in a bit more. But now it looks like it's part of the picture. Maybe a bit more. Okay, I think let's dry that and take the washi tape off. Okay, so this is now dry, and I'm umming and ahhing as to whether to get some coloured pencils in there. I think I might. Okay. What ones have I got out that I've been using lately? This looks like, oh no, that's oak. I need, what are you? No. Okay. I need a green that is kind of muted. What colour are you? Ivy. You might do. I just feel like I need to add to these stems a little bit. Maybe even get some more faint ones in. Got my head in the way again. I don't know what I've done with my camera today as to why it's doing that. But anyway, it's it is what it is. And just darken that up a little bit. Get a bit more detail. into some of that. Just adding in a little bit more. Yeah. I'm not liking those rocks so much. And I've got a Payne's Grey in here. Indigo. Oh, indigo will do. Okay. I think I just need to yeah. Just get a bit more going on there. And some of this is so small, it can be really tricky to do this with your paints. So it's just little bits, really. A squint. I've got some darks, I've got some mid-tones, got some lights. I don't think I want to do anything to my flowers. I think I quite like how they came out with the gamboge and leak-proof white mixed together as like an undercoat. I quite like that. I've got a kind of an orangey colour, burnt sienna. Right, I might just get a bit more of a definite line in there. The edges of those, like the beachy bit, really, I suppose you'd call it. Yeah, that's slightly better. I mean, I'm nitpicking now, really. Let's add some orange into this. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's not faff about anymore. I think I'll just overwork it, and I'm quite liking how it's come out. So take our washi tape off. Okay. Let's let's move some of these things out of the way, and mine is smaller than the original, but I'm really happy with that. Let's just take that away, and there we go. I will bring this up closer. There you have it. That's my attempt at this template, this Argyll Coast Primroses. So maybe go and have a look at some scotlandpaintings.com yourself. Go to the Paint It Yourself, the digital download. There's a separate website for Paint It Yourselves. I'll leave some details in the post below. All right, well, good luck everybody. Maybe you'll have a go. Anything that you have a go at, please leave on my Discord server, and thanks so much for watching. All right, bye for now.